You don't lack discipline. If you did, you wouldn't keep trying. You've been trying to create it the wrong way. Pause and sit with that for a moment, because everything you've been told about discipline, everything you've tried, everything that failed, it didn't fail because of you. It failed because of a fundamental misunderstanding about what discipline actually is and how it actually works. And I want to walk you through that today, slowly, clearly, because this is one of those things that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So let's begin. Every single time you tried to become disciplined, and I mean truly tried, genuinely pushed yourself, you started with effort. You woke up one morning with a clear mind, maybe a little motivation, maybe a sense of clarity about where your life needed to go, and you made a decision. Today is different. Today I begin. Today I stay consistent. And for a little while, it worked. You showed up. You did the thing. You felt good about yourself. You thought, maybe this time, this is it. This is the version of me that finally has it together. And then something happened. Life moved. A hard day came. Sleep was short, stress was high. One thing led to another, and you skipped just once, just this one time. And then the skip became a gap, and the gap became a pattern. And suddenly you were back at the beginning, resetting, restarting, rebuilding the motivation you thought you'd finally found. Sound familiar? This is not a personal failure. This is not weakness. This is not some character flaw buried deep inside you that makes you incapable of consistency. This is what happens when a person runs a system that requires strength every single day to function. Think about that. If your car required you to manually push it down the road every morning, you would not call yourself lazy for eventually choosing to stay home. You would call the car broken. You would say the design is wrong. You would stop blaming the driver and start examining the machine. Your discipline system has been broken, not you, the system. Now let's talk about what everyone gets wrong about discipline, because this is where the real damage happens. This is where years of wasted effort come from. Most people believe that discipline is willpower. They believe it is the ability to push through when you don't want to grit your teeth, tighten your jaw, and force yourself forward through resistance. And so they work very hard on developing that force. They read about it, they practice it, they strengthen it, and it works. For a little while, until the willpower depletes, until the tank runs empty, and it always runs empty, because willpower is a finite resource. It drains across the day. It drains across the week. Every decision you make, every temptation you navigate, every moment of internal conflict, it costs something. And when the account is empty, there is nothing left to draw from. Others believe discipline is motivation. They think if they can just feel excited enough, inspired enough, hungry enough, the action will follow naturally. And so they search for motivation. They watch videos. They read quotes. They look for the spark. And the spark comes. It always comes. But it also always fades, because motivation is emotional. And emotion moves in waves. It rises and falls, regardless of your intentions, regardless of your goals, regardless of how badly you want something. Some people believe discipline is intensity. They believe it is about how hard you go, how extreme the regimen, how severe the commitment. And so they design massive systems for themselves. Early mornings, extreme routines, zero tolerance for deviation. And for a season, that intensity is real. But intensity without architecture collapses. It always collapses. None of these things, not willpower, not motivation, not intensity, none of them create what you are actually looking for. What you are looking for is not effort. What you are looking for is automaticity. Repeated action that does not require you to fight for it every single day. And that is a completely different target. So let me tell you what discipline actually is. Not what culture says it is. Not what productivity influencers say it is. What it actually is at its core. Discipline is repeated action without decision. Read that again slowly. Repeated action without decision. The moment you have to decide whether to do something, truly decide from scratch every single time, you have already introduced the possibility of a different answer. And a different answer is a delay. And a delay is a skip. And a skip is a break in the chain that you will spend the next 3 days rebuilding the motivation to restart. This is why the decision itself is the enemy. If you have to think about it, it is already broken. Not weakened, not at risk. Broken. Because thinking about whether to do it means the action is still in negotiation. And anything still in negotiation can be negotiated out of. True discipline, real discipline, the kind that actually holds, lives below the level of decision. It does not ask for your opinion. It does not check how you feel this morning. It does not wait for you to be ready. It simply happens because it has been structured to simply happen. And now I want to show you how to build that. We are not building motivation. We are removing friction. This is what I call system installation, and it is not complicated. Complicated things require ongoing energy to maintain. Simple things last. So we keep this simple. 4 steps, clear and direct. The first step, fix the time, not a range of time, not somewhere around morning, not when I get to it. A specific, fixed, non-negotiable moment in the day when the action occurs. The same moment, every time, not similar, not approximate, the same. When time is fixed, your brain stops treating the action as an option and starts treating it as an appointment. And human beings honor appointments differently than intentions. Intentions live in the mind. Appointments live in the calendar. Fix the time. The second step, fix the action. Not a general category of behavior, not exercise, not prayer, not learning. Something with more precision than that. A specific action, a specific duration, a specific sequence. When the action itself is vague, you will spend cognitive energy deciding what version of it to do today. And that decision process is exactly the friction that over time dissolves consistency. Fix the action. Make it specific. Make it the same. The third step, remove variation. This is subtle, but it is powerful. Variation feels like freedom. It feels like flexibility. It feels like you're keeping things interesting. But what variation actually does is reintroduce decision. Every time you change something, every time you swap the order or modify the routine or improvise based on mood, you are asking your brain to engage rather than flow. And engagement requires energy, and energy is limited. Remove variation. Let the system be boring. Boring systems survive. The fourth step, repeat without negotiation. This is the one people resist most because the mind always presents reasons. Legitimate sounding, reasonable, understandable reasons to pause, to modify, to take a day. And some of those reasons will even be correct. But the moment you establish a pattern of negotiating with the system loses its authority because you have demonstrated that it can be overruled. And once the system can be overruled, the question is never if, only when. Repeat without negotiation, not without wisdom, not without flexibility in genuine emergency, but without the daily renegotiation that masquerades as self-care and produces nothing but inconsistency. You do not rise to the level of discipline. You fall to the level of your system. Write that somewhere visible, because it changes changes everything about how you approach this. The question is not how disciplined can I become. The question is how strong is my system, how well designed, how clear, how automatic. Because when the crisis comes, and it always comes, you will not reach upward for some heroic version of yourself. You will reach downward to the floor of your habits, to whatever has been built there, and whatever lives there is what you will execute. Build the floor well. Now let me explain why this works, because I want you to understand the mechanism, not just the method. Understanding the mechanism means you can troubleshoot it. It means you can defend it when someone questions it. It means you believe it deeply enough to maintain it even when results are slow. Here is the core dynamic. Fewer decisions create less resistance. Every time you remove a decision point from your day, you are conserving resources. Not just cognitive energy, though that matters, but emotional energy. The energy required to navigate internal conflict. The energy required to manage competing desires and competing voices. When the system is fixed, those conflicts do not arise. The action is simply next. There is no competing option being evaluated. There is no voice asking whether today is a good day. The system proceeds. Resistance has no foothold. And when the system proceeds consistently, something begins to happen beneath the surface. Repetition produces stability. You begin to know what is coming. Your body knows, your mind knows, your nervous system knows. And in that knowing there is a deep form of calm. Not the calm of someone who has nothing to do, but the calm of someone who knows exactly what they are doing and why. That calm is clarity, and clarity is a form of power that most people never access because their days are built on improvisation. And stability over time produces control, real control, not the illusion of control that comes from planning obsessively and executing inconsistently. Real control, which is the experience of watching your life move in the direction you have chosen, because the systems you installed are actually running. And here is the deepest truth in all of this. What repeats without resistance becomes identity. Not a habit, not a behavior, identity, who you are. When something has repeated enough times, without exception, without negotiation, without drama, it stops being something you do and starts being something you are. An identity is far more durable than intention. People act against their intentions every day. Almost no one consistently acts against their identity. This is where you are going, not to a disciplined schedule, to a disciplined self, but you cannot build the self without first building the schedule. The external structure precedes the internal transformation. The architecture comes first. The identity follows. And now I need to be honest with you about something, because everything I have told you today is true, and it is powerful, and it will work. But only if you are willing to face a hard reality about why it often does not work. If your discipline depends on how you feel, it will disappear. Simple as that. Non-negotiable as that. The morning you wake up tired, the system must run. The day things go wrong at work, the system must run. The week grief visits your house, the system must run. Perhaps in a reduced form, but it must run. Because the moment you establish that feeling is a valid justification for pausing, feeling becomes the mechanism by which the system is perpetually dismantled. Feelings are real. They matter. They deserve compassion and attention, but they are not reliable governors of behavior. They change too quickly. They respond to too many variables. They are downstream of biology, sleep, nutrition, social interaction, memory, and 100 things you do not control. You cannot hand the keys of your consistency to something that volatile. Structure is not the enemy of emotion. Structure is what makes space for emotion. When the foundational things are handled, when they are automatic, when they do not require daily heroics, you have more space for your inner life, not less. The paradox of structure is that it creates freedom, but you only discover that after you have committed to it long enough to experience it. And this brings me to the final thing I want to say, and this is where most people quietly fail. If nothing is fixed, nothing will hold. Read that slowly. Nothing will hold. Not your health goals, not your spiritual practice, not your creative work, not your relationships, not your finances, not anything, because everything you want to build requires consistent input over sustained time. And sustained time requires a system, and a system requires structure, and structure requires fixed points. Without fixed points, everything remains fluid, and fluid things take the shape of their container. And if the container is whatever mood you're in today, whatever demands the world is making today, whatever energy is or is not available today, then the shape of your life is determined by circumstances rather than by design. And a circumstance-shaped life is not a built life. It is a drifted life. And drifting feels a lot like moving. You are still going somewhere. Days are passing, things are happening. But when you look back over months, over years, you realize the direction was not chosen. It was defaulted to. And you were capable of so much more than the default. If nothing holds, nothing grows. Not because growth is complicated, because growth requires compounding. And compounding requires repetition. And repetition requires a system. The math is simple. The commitment is the hard part. And until that system exists, you will keep starting over. So here is the final verdict. And I want you to hear it completely. You do not become disciplined by trying harder. You do not become disciplined by wanting it more. You do not become disciplined by punishing yourself for the previous failure or by summoning some deeper level of motivation. You become disciplined by installing a system that makes discipline unavoidable. A system so clear, so fixed, so simple, and so consistent that the alternative, a deviation, requires more effort than compliance. When you build that system, discipline stops being a virtue you're chasing and becomes a consequence of the structure you're living in. You stop waking up wondering if you will do the thing. The thing simply happens. And slowly, over time, you stop being the person who's trying to be disciplined and you become the person who simply is. That is the target. That is what is available to you, not someday. Starting now, starting with the next fixed decision you make, and refuse to renegotiate. Your soul is the blueprint. Your life is the construction. Shalom, my friend. Now let's build the life God designed for you.